Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and it's your end of year reading, Aries, for November, December 2019. So we have for you here in the recent past situation, we have the Knight of Swords and we have the Tower reversed. We have present energies, the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Cups. Near future energies, we have the Four of Swords and the Six of Wands. And we have what tarot says will be the likely outcome if things continue on the current path. We have the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. We also have a couple of beautiful oracle cards here which we will reveal at the end. So Aries, we're going to kick off here with your recent past situation. Interesting energy. I can relate to this as an Aries myself. So Tower in reversed and Knight of Swords. So yeah, look, I feel like there's a situation that strongly needed to complete, Aries, but you potentially have not been allowing that to happen. So, you know, the Tower comes in when the universe sort of steps in to shake things up, to bring down a construct that's no longer serving you anymore, so that you can get back on your right path, to get back on the path that truly, you know, aligns with your higher self. Now, I'm just going to turn it up in the upright for the ease of reading this, Aries. So, Aries, you know, when the Tower comes in reverse, it's sort of like you're not allowing that tower to fall. Or maybe when it starts crumbling, you know, you quickly rebuild it, you quickly patch it up. Now, this is a general reading, guys, so it could relate to a variety of different situations. But for some of you, it could be a relationship that you know is past its use-by date, but that you're hanging on to it just to keep the peace. You know, you want to rebuild it a little bit so that you don't have to go through that upheaval of when it ends. For others of you, it could be a career that's no longer serving you, and you know, that you just don't want to leave because it's the end of the year. You know, it's hard to find a new job and that kind of thing. It can just be a, you know, a really big inner truth or revelation or epiphany that has come up about yourself, that maybe, you know, that truth is a little bit painful and you're choosing to not look at that, which is maybe stopping you from moving forward. Now, under the Knight of Swords energy here, I feel that there's a certain amount of conflict around the situation, and that could be potentially why you haven't been allowing it to fall. You might be dealing with a difficult person or somebody who is quite sharp-tongued, somebody who communicates harshly, somebody who, yeah, just, you know, is moving too quickly, that kind of situation. So I think that there's a certain amount of fear around that person, and that's why, you know, you've kept that tower rebuilding. It's like you're actually doing that to satisfy the other person rather than doing what has been truly right for you, Aries. Now, this is in the recent past, and I do feel that a lot of you have now let that tower fall, because we see some really beautiful cards coming in for you in the future, and we see a swift change as well. So I think this is long overdue. This tower has been meant to fall potentially earlier in the year, and it's like the universe had something right behind that door ready to just burst on through as soon as you were to, you know, to allow this thing to come down, because it was built on a shaky foundation and it just wasn't a fit for you anymore. You know, we've got a square tower and we've got a round crown. And I strongly feel, Aries, because of your fiery strength, that potentially you were the tower. You were the person that was holding this together, and it was kind of you manipulating the situation and rebuilding it, because you also knew that other people were going to fall from the tower. You know, other people were going to go through a difficult situation of having to let go through this. And yeah, I think you were worried about their reaction. You know, you're worried about them charging at you with their sword, with those harsh words, because potentially you didn't quite know what they were capable of. But what I'm really pleased to see here in your current energies at the moment, Aries, is that you really have turned the page. There is a new chapter opening up for you, and we see that energy just continuing into the end of the year. And so I feel like when you allowed that tower to fall, you know, there was a swift change there, Aries, a swift change in energy. I mean, if we look at that Nine of Cups next to the tower, they are just completely different. You're a completely different person now, Aries. And the Eight of Wands, you know, it's swift change. It's also can be messages from the divine. Maybe, you know, there was some communication or a message that came in that really made you feel, oh, okay, I've actually done the right thing now. Now I feel satisfied and content. But either way, you know, for me in this reading, that Ace of Wands, we do have an ace coming in, that Eight of Wands really is the swift change. It's the 180-degree turn that you've made through allowing the situation to finally complete. And, you know, the universe is rewarding you for that. It's saying that, you know, you can move towards a Nine of Cups reality now, even if it may not be upon you yet. This is where the movement is heading to. I do feel like there is a feeling of content or satisfaction from, you know, allowing yourself to go through this and coming out stronger. It's about now you can actually finally go after your emotional fulfillment to cultivate, you know, greater feelings of love and joy and harmony in your life. It's also the wish fulfillment card, and we have that, you know, with this divine element of the Eight of Wands, Aries. So I think that you should set your sights high, make a wish, because, you know, I think that the space is there for it at the moment, for something that could truly expand. And near future, yeah, this feels very right for Aries at the moment. Six of Wands and Four of Swords. Yeah, look, I think some of you yeah, well, it's end of the year, so some of you are feeling pretty burnt out. I know I am. That Four of Swords is also about needing a period of recovery, rest, regeneration after what might have been quite a hard few months, you know, even a hard year. You know, that Four of Swords is about taking the time to heal wounds. You know, we have the link to the Three of Swords here, to heal your heart, to, you know, heal any grief, sadness, to process things, to process what might have gone down in your life, to reformulate a new battle plan. You know, what's 2020 going to look like? Where do I really want to go? This is you starting to contemplate all of those things. Now that you've cut the energetic cord of this situation, now that you have that space in your life, you're really thinking, well, what next? And I think, you know, you're all about focusing on forward movement. Like if we see this knight here on his horse, this situation and the person that you were attached to, it was like charging back into the past all the time, back into the past so that the tower wouldn't fall. It was backwards movement all the time is what I'm feeling. But now that you've released yourself from that and things, the tables have turned, now you can actually move forward. And you're moving forward victoriously, because the Six of Wands is a card of success. It's a card of victory. It's also you now potentially being more charismatic and attractive, because your energy would have shifted greatly through allowing the situation to complete. With the Six of Wands, you know, other people around you might actually be, you know, publicly recognizing that you've changed, that your energy's shifted, that, you know, you might be coming across as more of a leader back in your Aries power. I think people might have said to you, oh wow, you know, you're looking great, you know, what's changed? Or they might know about the situation and go, you know, I really think you've made the, you know, the right move, and we can see that it's the right thing for you. That's what I see with that Six of Wands. But either way, it is you starting that journey into a new direction that's going to carry you through into 2020. And what does Tarot say is the likely outcome if things continue on that path, Aries? Well, I love this. First of all, deep personal transformation with the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, you know, she is somebody who is now thinking with great clarity, with great vision. She's a visionary. She's a truth seeker. She uses that sword to cut away the last remains of this situation, to clear the slate for going into the new year. She, you know, she can use the sword here to cut away this portal to that Ace of Pentacles. That's what I'm seeing there with that. Either way, it's truly transforming your personal energy. And when you do that, when you use your sword of power to create boundaries in your life, to cut yourself free from, you know, energies that were holding you in the past, you create space. You create space for gifts and beautiful opportunities to come in. That's what I'm seeing here. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is a gift from the divine. It is something that is usually to do with material realm, solidity, stability. It can be financial abundance. It can be even a windfall, or a way to make money, or, in terms of a relationship realm, it can link to stability and solidity. So it can be in the home realm as well. Either way, with the Ace of Pentacles, it says, there may have been a path to walk to get here. There may have been a mountain to climb, a mountain range to scale. It may have, there may have been a transformation that needed to happen where you stepped into your power, reaffirmed your boundaries, and used that power to cut your way through to this. That's what I'm seeing. Either way, it comes in on the hand of the divine. So the universe is saying, this is your time. This is your time to be gifted this, because you've done the hard work. You've released what needs to be released, and here you go. And the thing to remember with aces is they are the first card of each suit of the tarot decks. This is number 1 in the suit of Pentacles. They are the seeds of pure potential and possibility. But as we know with any seed, we can't just leave it in the ground and walk away from it. We need to water it and nurture it and love it, and that's when it can expand. So if an opportunity comes in for you towards the end of the year, even though it is the end of the year, Aries, and you might be a little bit tired and you might be in that resting zone, I think you need to take action on this, because this is going to carry through into your new year and even really set you up for your next chapter. Beautiful. So I'm just going to read out your oracle cards here, Aries. Let's start with this one. Don't dim to fit in. Okay, interesting. Let's just find that one for you. Won't be a moment. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding and you're part of the universe, so expanding is part of your nature. If someone makes you want to react, notice and slowly back away. They are not for you and you are not for them. Better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Flowers don't open and close accordingly to who is walking by. They open and show their beauty regardless. Yeah, so for me, Aries, that is definitely relating to that past situation. It is time for you not to dim your light anymore, not to accommodate somebody else who might not have your best interests at heart. It's time for you to start shining bright, because when you shine bright, your energy attracts like experiences, like the Ace of Pentacles. And we have your yogic path card here. We have the energy of Shiva. Very powerful. So I'll just read that one out to you, Aries. You are truly on a yogic path. Shiva is referred to as Adiyogi, the first yogi ever. He attained enlightenment and abandoned himself in ecstatic dance atop the Himalayas. When his ecstasy went beyond movement, he became utterly still. People could not understand his switch between ecstatic movement and stillness and thought him mad. However, 7 students wanted to learn how he was moving past physical limitations. This is how he began teaching yoga. Shiva planted the seed of yoga into human mind. Pulling Shiva represents moving past the limitations from your society, from your body, mind, or ego. It represents doing the inner work to evolve. It is also a call to service, to teach others your wisdom, and so they too can become liberated. Yeah, I mean, it's all about evolving, Aries, and we can see that in your cards here. Ending at the end of the year with the Queen of Swords, which is true transformation as you transcend these darker energies. Beautiful reading. So Aries, yeah, that's your end of year reading. I wish you all the best with it. Keep in mind it is a general reading, so it won't be for every Aries. Leave me a comment. I'd love to know how the end of the year is panning out for you, and I'll see you back here for another reading soon.